do this. Let's do this.
Take 4. Action. Hey guys, this is our first official podcast on the Galactic Dispatch. As you know, Star Wars has been the biggest movie franchise in history, bringing some classic films in the sci-fi genre, thanks to George Lucas, who created the cinematic universe. Even though Disney, who owns Star Wars, hasn't released a Star Wars movie since 2019 with the rise of Skywalker, there's been constantly releasing new types of TV shows, video games, comic books, and hey, there even been a Christmas special, which we don't talk about at all. Here I have with me is a friend and also a Star Wars fan, which his name is Norris.
Hi guys, I'm Norris, and I'm a big fan. I love Star Wars. It's great.
Yeah. We'll be talking about Star Wars topics, and I'll even question him on his like hot takes. Alright. So first question is, Norris, what was your first time seeing one of the Star Wars films?
Well, obviously these films are very old, so I can't lie and just say 1980 something, you know. But yeah. Granted, my age around 6 years old, I would say my dad has really introduced me to Star Wars because he's a huge Star Wars fan, and same opinion goes to like most of the fan base of how they hate the sequels. He hates the sequels. So yeah, and my first ever Star Wars movie was actually Phantom Menace. So we started off strong. I wasn't really too fond of the original trilogy, because I never actually gave it like the attention it actually really deserves. But you know, I personally love all the trilogies. But that was my first introduction to Phantom Menace, 6 years old, and my introduction to Star Wars.
Alright then, what would you say is your favorite Star Wars film?
Well, kind of overrated. How people always say Revenge of the Sith, but I'm gonna say Revenge of the Sith because it's true. The movie's so good. All the duels, all the action sequences, the character development, Anakin's like rise to the dark side and fall of the light side is just so cool. And that final fight with him and Obi-Wan, that movie really deserves a remaster, like a complete remake. Like, it's so good.
Yeah.
But if I would have to choose a second film, also Empire Strikes Back. Very good film.
Alright. Which Star Wars character do you like the most?
That's a good question, Ijaz. I would have to say, it really depends, because I feel like if it's of all time, I don't actually have a particular one. But if it's by trilogy, I would say in the original trilogy, Han Solo, the prequels trilogy, maybe Anakin or Obi-Wan, and sequels, none. I'm joking. Kylo Ren's good. He's very cool.
Yeah. Also, obviously you gave your opinions on what different types of the sequel trilogy and all the other trilogies.
Yeah.
So give your ranking of like the 3 trilogies. So yeah. So what would you put at last, and what would you put at top, and what would you put in the middle?
Ooh. Well, my childhood is screaming to put prequels at the top, but I feel like that's just not correct. I feel like it kind of goes in the order of the timeline, sort of. Like, I would say best is original trilogy, then prequels, then sequel trilogy. Because, I mean, I don't really hate the sequel trilogy, it's just that there's a lot of lackluster films compared to your prequels and original trilogy.
Yeah.
What about yours then?
Obviously.
Actually, let's start. What's your favorite Star Wars film?
Favorite Star Wars film? Oh, that's tough, because I obviously, recently start watching the film, so I can't really speak on like my favorite all time. But right now, it has to be Return of the Jedi.
Okay.
Because the Return of the Jedi, it has the best conclusion to in the whole trilogy, and also Luke Skywalker, he has gone through amazing character development.
Yeah.
Starting off like a simple farm boy in New Hope, then Empire Strikes Back, he becomes this rebel, and and he's very, reckless to the point where he lost his hand to Vader. But in the in Return of the Jedi, he is a completely different person, and he's like the one with the Force. Yeah, I really like Luke Skywalker's character development. I hope it doesn't get ruined in the sequels. Yeah.
Have you not seen the sequels then?
Nah, I'm going to watch it like
Okay.
soon.
So you're a new Star Wars fan. You're currently watching all of them, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, you're not going to be very happy with Rise of Skywalker.
Okay, that's a bit worrying, but
Okay. What else
okay.
you got for me then?
Obviously, since you like Star Wars, do you have like any memorabilia, like
Any what?
memorabilia? So like props, so like toys.
All right. Okay. Ooh, tough to say. No, not tough to say. I'm lying. Yeah, I have like at my house I have shelves of statues and collectibles and all this stuff. I have lightsabers. Obviously, I brought this Grogu. You clearly have some. You got a Vader mask.
Yeah, Vader mask.
So you started your collection now, official.
Yeah, I'm thinking about getting what, a Kylo Ren mask.
All right. Yeah, I used to have that when I was a kid. It was a horrendous thing. It was from Toys R Us, but yeah. And my lightsaber collection actually went from terrible to really good because I started actually buying those good quality ones, glow up and stuff. But yeah. In terms of memorabilia, yeah, I have plenty.
Okay, cool. So obviously, sixth question is what are your hot topics on like different Star Wars films?
Hot takes?
Yeah, hot takes.
Okay. The different Star Wars films. Want each one?
I mean, it could be any really. I mean, the
Okay.
one take that's like people like.
Well, Phantom Menace pacing was horrendous. It was really slow. Like, good film nonetheless, but realistically, the main thing we was waiting for and liked about that film is the Duel of Fates.
Oh.
That's it. Like, it's not really anything else you can remember from that film. Like, do you remember anything else? I barely, except for pod racing.
Yeah.
Then you got the second film in that prequel trilogy, which was Attack of the Clones, I believe.
Yeah.
Yeah, that film was. I don't know if I had any problems with it. It's just that I barely remember it. So yeah, I can't really say.
The only thing I remember is I don't like sand. It's very coarse and rough, and it gets everywhere.
Yeah, I like how Anakin gets a new look as time goes on. Like in the first one, he was like what, 10 years old or something.
Yeah.
And then in the next film, he's around teenager, near adult, and then the final one, he's a full-blown adult, and he's blinded by love and manipulation. And that was my personal favorite thing about Revenge of the Sith. The whole manipulation story with Palpatine and Anakin is really good. But if I had to have a hot take on Revenge of the Sith, I don't know. I don't think I do. Except for it's overrated. It's pretty overrated. And I think I mentioned that when I picked it. It's pretty overrated. Like it's a pick that if you're a true Star Wars fan, then you're probably gonna pick it. Like, let's be honest. It's definitely in your top 3. Original trilogy, New Hope. Honestly, no hot takes. It was really good. Good film. Empire Strikes Back, probably a perfect film. Like, it's one of those films where you don't even have to watch A New Hope to fully understand it. Like, you can just pick it out as a movie night and you will just watch and have a good time.
Yeah.
And Return of the Jedi, probably pacing as well. I guess the pacing was a bit slow in Return of the Jedi. And sequels, oh boy. Oh boy. You haven't seen them.
Nah, I just...
So, it doesn't really matter what hot takes I give because you won't understand. But, Last Jedi is the worst film ever. Like, the worst Star Wars film ever. And might even be one of the worst films ever. Like, it's so bad, it's horrendous.
Explain to me without giving spoilers, how bad is it?
Okay. Maybe if I could just bring up a scene. Yeah, okay. So in the have you seen Force Awakens?
I've seen clips of it, yeah.
Clips? Okay, cool. I can't really give that spoiler. Okay. Leia's flying through space and survives, and is just immortal to the cold and everything because she has force power.
Wow.
That's the bare minimum spoiler I could give you to describe how bad it is.
Well,
No descriptions at all. None.
I gotta
Scram.
watch the films and see how terrible it is.
Force Awakens is actually not bad, but it kind of feels like A New Hope. It really does when you watch it. It
Alright.
feels just like A New Hope. And Rise of Skywalker. Weak. Weak.
Alright. So, you mentioned about Attack of the Clones.
Yep.
Yeah. There's also. So I want to ask you a question about what are your personal opinions on like the Star Wars TV shows like the Clone Wars and like
Rebels.
Rebels,
Mandalorian,
yeah, all those TV shows.
What are my opinions on that? Well, some are good. I feel like Clone Wars is really good. It's just that it's not too great. Like Clone Wars kind of suffers from like a lack of pacing when it gets to the final season. I think it's the final season. I don't know. But the beginning when it was aired on Cartoon Network, it was one of the greatest Cartoon Network shows, and I really liked it. Like they really changed a lot of things, and what I like about these shows is that they can take a character who's like really irrelevant in the actual movie, and they can just make it into a really good character. For example, like Darth Maul. Darth Maul's character arc was completely improved and everything. So yeah.
Alright. So that's all the question I have. Do you want to ask me any questions?
Well, just the base ones, I guess. Like so far, what's your favorite movie?
Obviously, it has to be Return of the Jedi.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
pretty good.
Forgot. Already asked you that.
Yeah.
You can just cut that out. And favorite Star Wars character?
Yeah. Okay, so it has to be either Darth Vader or
Yeah.
Obi-Wan. Because I feel like, actually not Obi-Wan, probably Qui-Gon.
Wow. All right.
Qui-Gon, because I understand he was just in one film, but I feel like there's a whole dynamic between both Qui-Gon and Obi-Wan. Because the Duels of Fates, if I remember correctly, because is like, if Obi-Wan would have died and Qui-Gon killed Darth Maul, he would have. I feel like it would be like Anakin would have not go to the dark side, because with Obi-Wan he's kind of like who's binded to the rules of the Jedi.
Yeah.
Yeah, like he doesn't have any attachments. He doesn't, he's just devoted to the Jedi Order. And with Qui-Gon, he is a Jedi, of course, but he does tend to like break the rules here and there. So I feel like if Obi-Wan died and he and Qui-Gon would have been Anakin's master,
Yeah.
I feel like that would have changed a lot, like in terms of like Anakin falling to the dark side.
Fair enough. Well, that's all my questions. That's all your questions.
Yeah.
Wrap it up.
Yeah, that's all we have for today. Thank you for watching this, and if you want to see more of this podcast type videos, make sure to buy our magazine subscriptions for more content. Thank you.
Stay tuned, everyone.
Yeah. Alright then.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah, that's good.